Welcome to the video lecture on the components of cash flow statements. When we look at the purpose of cash flow, first we need to identify what exactly does a cash flow statement do for you. And so the number one thing it's going to do for a small business is it's going to identify if you have enough money. And so what it's going to do is identify the specific times a year where you're going to have more cash coming in, and identify the times where you may be strapped for cash or in a weaker position. Some businesses may be seasonal in nature, so they may only have 6 months where they're bringing in a majority of their cash flow. That being the case, what the cash flow statement does is identify, okay, you have cash coming in 6 months out of the year. How do you balance your cash balance throughout that 12-month cycle? How do you continue to pay your bills during the times where you may not necessarily have the cash coming in? This is also specific, like if you're in a farming industry, you're going to be selling your product, but throughout the rest of the year, you're going to need expenses to plant the product, to fertilize, maintain the land, all of those expenses that happen when you don't have revenue coming in. Cash flow is really a major component of why small businesses fail. And so they fail to plan for the cash flow challenges of their business. And so they'll fail for a couple different reasons. They may fail because they overestimated and underestimated. They overestimated their sales and underestimated their expenses. They may have come up with a easy forecasting method where they said, okay, I'm going to have $120,000 in sales through the year, so I'm going to say I have $10,000 every month coming in. Well, your first 2 or 3 months, you may not have the same amount coming in, and so you may still get $120,000 throughout the year, but if you only have $2,000 or $3,000 your first couple months, you may not get to those other months where you're going to have more revenue coming in. And so the way that you do your projections really creates how effective your cash flow statement is going to be for you. When we talk about the cash flow process, we talk about here are the steps or methods that you'll be determining your cash flow. First, you're going to start your beginning balance for that specific period. How much cash do you have on hand from the previous period? For your startups, this is how much you're going to start off with. Then you're going to estimate the cash coming in, both from sales, accounts payable, which we'll talk about, or accounts receivable, which we'll talk about, and then cash going out, which is going to be how much our expenses are going to be. And so once we identify all the money coming in, and we identify all the money going out, then we subtract cash out from that total cash in amount. And so once we do that, whatever is left over is the balance that is going to roll over to the beginning of the next month, and you're going to start the process again. It's essential for the business owner that balance is a positive number. When that balance is a negative number, that means we are out of money at that given point in time. And so when you're out of money as a business owner, you have 2 options. You can, 3 options. You can choose not to pay a specific bill, which is going to have a cost of either getting that product or service pulled or whatever it is, getting it shut off, or there may be an interest penalty for doing that. We could finance it by taking out an additional loan, or what a lot of small businesses do is they might cover those expenses on a credit card. I am not a proponent of financing your small business through the use of a credit card. Challenges of financing your business through a credit card is you're financing it at 22% potentially interest rate. And a lot of times small businesses, they become so cash strapped by financing through the credit card piece that they end up spending thousands of dollars literally every month just on interest. And so they're spending $1,000 every month out of their balance on nothing. Or the third option, which is the option that the cash flow process allows you to do, is Where are places in my budget that I can reduce costs from to get my cash flow at the amount that I need it to be at?